It's been a minute. Let's see if this works. I think this is just showing my whole. Oh no, it's just showing my video. Okay, cool. Checking some stuff in the background. Let's see. Yeah, I'm live on Twitch. How about that? Let's see what I sound like. Not too bad. What's the video? Oh, okay. No, it's not too choppy. Cool. Okay, I don't think that audio should be coming through. Let's double check. Yeah, no, right now just my audio from this, so I think we're good there. This is kind of a hacky situation here. I'm gonna have to change this. I am multi-streaming through StreamYard and then using virtual camera from OBS as the camera source into StreamYard. So basically using StreamYard for the multi-stream. I think I'm probably going to change that if I can, and see if I can RMTP and just RMTP through OBS and skip the StreamYard. But kind of nice to at least have the easy way to connect to all the platforms at once. Okay, so it should be streaming. Twitch is good. Let's check YouTube. Doesn't say I'm live. I don't even know where to check that. So content live. Yeah. Okay. How do I do that? Can I just look at the? There we go. Okay. Nice. I guess that's working too. Good deal. And I'm seeing. All right, I'm seeing some good recommended videos in the background. In the playlist that are related to my content. So that's good. That's good to see. Okay. And then I'm streaming on X too because I figured why not. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's working. I think. Yeah, it is. It's we're streaming. Crazy. Okay, cool. Let's see. So I guess StreamYard is going to be my source for chat. Hopefully, I think it's be able to consolidate chat. If I'm not responding right away, try a couple times, and I will do my best to keep an eye out. Yeah, okay, cool. So it's been a minute. I don't think I've streamed on here. So I was looking at StreamYards, and last time I did a multi-stream was a long time ago. It was 2020 April of 2024. So it's been a little while. Kind of changed my priorities. I think last time I streamed on Twitch, I think I then switched to just streaming directly on Twitch. Maybe nah. I mean that might have been back at the end of 2023 because I know I did it back in December, and then I kind of like switched gears. So yeah, always switching gears. But yeah, so let's do a quick recap. Excalidraw. There we go. How do I? Yeah, library. Let's do a new one. Oh, interesting. How do I get to like my other ones? Open. I'm assuming Excalidraw wants me to pay to be able to have like multiple files. Is that what's going on? Or do I just like reset? I guess we can save too. That'll work. Save to disk. Put this somewhere. Excalidraw. Excalidraw. Yeah, Excalidraw. That'll work. 8. And then automatic shorts. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna save that file. Let's get a new file going. Man, I gotta learn this at some point. Yeah, okay, you want to gotta pay for Excalidraw Plus. Not doing that yet. How do I clear this? I just want to do a new one. Clear? Clear canvas. Yes. Okay. Now I can change what I'm sharing here. All right, cool. Is that correct? Oh wait, why is that? That's laggy. That's not what I was wanting to wanting to share. Hang on. Let's see if can I refresh this? Minor technical difficulties. We'll be back in a minute here. Mac OS capture. Yeah, that's what I want. Display capture. Reset. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, cool. Now I think we're good. Nice. Okay. Snap double check. You can see it's the full stream. Okay. Yeah. All right. We're looking good. Cool. So quick recap. So like I said, haven't streamed on here in a little while. It's been a minute. Then what was I doing? I was kind of doing some web design stuff, and then along came became an opportunity to build an app. So that's kind of what ended up taking over for the last basically 7 months. Doesn't totally account for the gap after that. But the last 7 months, I have been working on a mobile app, and so that's partly what this is going to be. I want to try to start talking about that more. So how do I show this? So let's see. Recap. Mobile app development. Vibe coding. So basically, I've vibe coded an entire mobile app, which is called Wave. So the Wave Nightlife. Up to this point, I was kind of mostly was working on it as just mostly as a developer, with not much ownership in the business, a little bit just working for equity, but a small amount of equity. And I think that may be changing soon. So I may actually be bumping to a more of a co-founder status. And so that's going to be kind of the plan going forward. I was working on that. The app is actually in the App Store. There's still some things I gotta clean up and fix. And so that's partly what I'll be doing on here, is that I'll actually be working on the Wave app and live streaming that process. And then probably have some sort of a community aspect to that as well. But between that and then I've kind of been dividing my time. I've been doing a lot of AI automation stuff. So that's what's mostly on this channel right now. Is so jpeters.dev is the YouTube channel, and kind of all spawned from what I'm doing right now, where I kind of had the original idea of like, well, I just wanted to create YouTube kind of type tools. AI automation is super helpful for that. So that's kind of been the direction of what the AI automation focus has been. And so I think it's finally time to put all this into practice. So with the AI automation, I think I'm going to say I've been following Nick Sarayev. So I'm just going to steal his success, steal from him. So he does daily update videos about his school community. And so I think I'm going to do something relatively similar. But I'm going to take it to the next level, and we're going to live stream. So I've been a live streamer for a little while, off and on for many years now. Not consecutive. I mean, I started streaming a long time ago, and then kind of been off and on about it. Been very inconsistent. I recently again had like a brief stint, I think back in September, when Satisfactory came out. So I streamed that for like a solid month, like through September into October, I think. And then kind of had the similar approach to this, where it's like, oh well, I can just like, what if I created tools to say, take live stream, repurpose into content, build brand. So going to reapply that to this situation. I'm kind of putting everything back together to help create that kind of system. So part of that, then I ended up creating the AI automation. So I have a learn automation and AI school community, which is free. And that's kind of where I've been dumping the videos. I mean, my videos are on YouTube. So automation tutorials are on YouTube. And then the workflows. So these have all been in N8N so far, the automation platform. Automation platform workflows of N8N are in the school community now. And technically, they're also on Gumroad. So that's kind of the nice little hack as well. You don't have to join the community if you don't want to. You can also find them on Gumroad. But the community is free, so you can skip that step. So the only other component here is it'll probably, I think, something like start an AI community as well, or whatever, like a kind of like a startup community that'll be kind of more back into the whole founder life kind of thing, because unfortunately I have to get paid. So I definitely believe in giving away information and as much stuff as possible for free. The thing you'd be paying for there is more like direct access to be able to be on like a weekly call, and like getting direct help a little bit more frequently than the free one will be, because the free one, I'll go in there and update as much as I can and have help with that and that kind of thing. But like to get like, specialized help and like more access, that's kind of probably what it'll be. I don't mind charging for my time, but I definitely don't think you should charge for free. I don't want to do a paid course. I'm really not a big believer in that. So trying to avoid that. I think courses and stuff should be free. So this is going to be, that's kind of like an overview of what the vision is here. Basically, live stream content to build brand, and then I also want to provide those tools within the community as well. So free tools for brand content and other things. And then as far as like, business scaling, and then the other community will just be more of a AI vibe code help, direct help kind of deal, more founder type stuff. So that's going to be the plan. Probably won't always stream on the weekends, but figured it was good to start today. Yeah. So I think that's a pretty good recap of where I've been, where I'm at, and yeah, good so far. Let's see. No comments to be expected. I think that's part of this. Gonna have to build the presence back up. So nice thing is, like, mostly the goal for this is just going to be, the live stream. We could break this down even more into live streaming. Really what this means is the live stream basically is this. I wanted to be able to capture my voice and then use something like Whisper to then turn that into a transcript. And then once we've got the transcript, then that gives a ton of content to work with as far as being able to, pull out clips or whatever, create posts for different platforms, that kind of thing. And try to use AI as much as possible to make that process efficient. Big believer in not making AI the focus of the content, rather using AI as a tool to help you create your own content. Like, you should be the focus, not the AI. Is kind of the main thing. I mean, that's the thing that's going to lead to the most success, probably. Obviously, you can definitely slam out, AI slop and tons of, funny videos and that kind of thing. I know that's super trendy right now, and it probably will only increase, especially as the AI quality video gets better and better. So I'm not totally against it, but I just think that the more valuable approach, the thing that's going to lead you to more success, is using AI as your tool, not as like the source. But anyway, that's enough for that. So I'm kind of seeing this again as like a breakdown of like probably going to start with the first half as far as like running the AI automation stuff and cover that. Right now, my goal is to keep my school activity up, so I'm going to do that, and then after that, then would switch over to the whole vibe coding scene as far as like working on the Wave app itself, and kind of, I mean, I guess this could all really be summed up back to the simple goal of build in public. So really, we're going to be vibe code, be vibing and automating in public. So yeah, there we go. We got it. Let's get started, I think. So like I mentioned, this is probably going to be the more of a regular start to this. I'll hop in here, kind of check on the community and see how things are going on the free side. You can join that for free. I think I already have a link. Might have actually updated my bio, but I'll have links right here. But yeah, just kind of a cool place where I'll be posting stuff. A little bit easier to find things. First off, I also trying to keep track of my activity. I missed a day. I've already missed a day. I said I was going to do 20 activities a day, and I'm already short. Yesterday I was short one, so trying to get a little bit more regular about that. That's what this video will be for as well. Only a few today right now. So once the community grows, I think this will be easier to do because there'll be more things to kind of react to. I think I basically have responded to everyone and done as much as I can in my own community. So I got to go out into the other communities. So I guess I probably can't really totally do that, especially for the ones that are paid. I don't want to be giving away too much content there. So can't do too much activity there, I guess. So this will mostly just be for updates. But what I wanted to do here is post about this. So I guess a quick recap. Let's see. So I don't know about change of plans, but say future. Yeah, I don't know what do I call it. Yeah, future. Community is only like 2 weeks old, so I don't want to whiplash or anything like that. I don't know exactly how to phrase that. Still working on like my ad copy, I guess. Still working on writing more clickbaity titles and that kind of thing. Definitely a work in progress, but I don't know. I guess I'm using that full-time founder. When I'm not working on automation workflows, I'm usually working on building a mobile app. I'll be, let's see. How about, let's change it. Say live streaming. That's the goal here. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Part of running this community and, or I guess, yeah, there we go. One of my goals for this community is to help, let's see, is to help with content creation. I wanted to use automation and AI to make it easier, build a brand presence online. So I will be live streaming some of that work during the week, then using automation workflows to turn those live streams into other, or to repurpose them, I guess, to repurpose those streams. That will also include working on the requested workflows in this community. Also, when not working on automation and AI, I have also been vibe coding a full mobile app. Or to come on that as well. Let me know if you're interested in vibe coding your own app. Cool. Just an update. I probably need to do. Probably need to have a link for that. I guess I don't know. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, I probably should actually talk about it. Let's maybe leave a link. I'll be live on YouTube and Twitch here. And I guess I'll just drop a link to my channel, twitch.tv, go. And my YouTube channel, Full-Time Founder. Let's open that up. Cool. Alrighty. Yeah, good deal. Cool. Feel free to stop by and ask questions and request workflows. Workflows live. Also, I'm not working on automation and AI. Cool. Pretty good. That'll work. I could probably look at these. Pretty good, right? Yeah. Liked, comment. Oh, he did actually mention it. Oh wait, crap. Yeah, I don't want to show other people's paid communities. So I am in a couple paid communities, so I don't want to give that away. And hopefully not dox too much on my on my email either. Gonna have to readjust with that too. Okay, I do need to set up like a hotkey to be able to switch back and forth between these, but running it from my MacBook, I probably will switch to my computer where I can have Stream Deck, and then I can have hotkey buttons to change things. But okay. Man, suddenly getting a bunch of text messages while the moment I start to go in live. All right, just people spamming. Cool. Let's see. What is the hotkey to switch this? There's a hotkey to switch these, right? I thought OBS had hotkeys for that we could do. Oh, okay. So that was kind of a good quick preview of what I'm planning for this. Just kind of come in here, check this, and be good to go. I do have school activities. Hey, look at that. I've been trying to kind of like keep myself accountable here and track my activities because I do want to get above a 20 average daily activity. And nice. So let's see. So from the 25th profile, 25th, I had 32. Okay. Right on. That's good. And then Then on the 26th, I only had 19. Just below average, just a touch. And then today is still going. So what's today? 27th? Yeah. Okay. Gonna hold off on that then. Gonna delete that row and we will wait. That's probably gonna bug out these things, isn't it? Okay, cool. So we'll come back to that, but that'll be part of the daily ritual. Again, kind of heavily inspired by Nick Sarayev and his normal daily. He comes in and checks all of his social media stats. And I'll probably start adding that on here too, but not enough activity yet to track those numbers. That's the whole point of this live stream. So we're gonna blast out a bunch of content, and hopefully get a lot of impressions. So good deal. Okay. Here's the StreamYard. My multi-streaming hack for now. How is X? I always wondered. People always talked about this being like the kind of like the secret, underutilized live stream, because I really don't see people live stream very much on here. I don't know if they like bury it or not, but yeah, I don't know. That one's gonna be interesting. X still kind of makes me nervous, so I don't know if I'll stick with that one or not. But okay, so that's the first part. I was kind of actually, I might work a little bit on automation, because I know that was kind of what I was thinking. That first, basically, kind of like structure my day a little bit, where when I hop on with the live stream, we'll start with school and automation stuff, because I'm going to need to try to hopefully repurpose this kind of content, and then jump into development after that. So maybe not this time. Starting this pretty late in the afternoon. Normally, this will probably be going in the morning, like during the day on weekdays. I don't know that I'm going to do a ton of streaming on the weekends, but we'll see. See what kind of momentum we get here. So it's probably not going to be the norm. And I think I do need to actually get to work on the app a little bit, so we can switch over to that, I think, and skip the automation stuff for now. But I do need to get back to some of these other things that I was going to work on. Yeah, then if that's the case, yeah, I'm going to look forward to processing this video once it's done, and we'll get back to that. But I guess while I'm thinking about it, I do kind of have a workflow that's pretty close to that. Here we go. Actually, it's still running. This is the workflow that I'm going to probably be banking on the most here, is the automatic shorts. Really, I guess I'm probably not going to jump into this one right away, or at least it needs to be improved, but it might be able to work. But right now, what this is doing is, right now it's running a self-hosted n8n, and while it's running, I can it'll trigger off of a file being dropped in. So like really, like I could probably set up this whole thing to be pretty automatic, where once it's done streaming, then I just drop the folder into the trigger folder, and then this workflow could take over, and it would grab the folder, or grab the video file that we just dropped in. It's going to get the name of it, create a folder for it, and then create clips underneath that, or folders for those clips underneath that parent folder. So I've got like a folder for the file name of the video, and then place to kind of organize some of the clips that are going to come out of that video. And then right now it's only running Whisper, and I think it's running Whisper as a segment. So like it runs Whisper to get the transcript, and then it gets all the timestamps, but it's doing it at a segment level. So it's basically doing it in chunks. Like I don't know if it's like sentences or however long Whisper decides to do it, but I think it's going to be more useful to do word by word, mostly because to cut out all these ums and ahs will be super useful. That way it can have direct timestamps for those. And I know that there's actually, I think, a couple improved libraries for that, rather than right now I'm running just OpenAI's published Whisper API. You can just download and install. But I think there's a couple forks of it where people have improved it to be better for word by word, more accurate word by word transcripts. I mean that's or timestamps. So I need to switch this out to probably use that instead. And then in the example of this workflow, I was doing for GPT-4o, just trying to keep it pretty accessible. But I mean, I am paying for GPT Pro, so I would actually probably bump this up to use O3 and get a little bit more beefy of a clip effort, because this first reads in the entire transcript and then tries to find timestamps that would be useful based on whatever the instruction was. In this case, like I'm going to have an instruction of probably a pretty decent one. I'll probably end up coming with like a pretty decently outlined document that I can just provide in here as context of just like what I'm trying to do. Like, here's my channel, like here's my goal, help me find clips. Like, we're trying to build a brand here. This is how the stream is structured. Like, look for this part, that kind of thing. So this might be a little bit more complicated where I actually need more steps in this, but at least the first pass, I'll have O3 go through the entire transcript and then try to find clips that would be useful. And then what it does is then identify the timestamps for those clips. So that way I can turn around and then create commands with FFmpeg to pull out those clips specifically based on timestamp. And so once that's done, then like I can pull out, then I can execute that command directly. It'll pull out all the clips, save out those video clips into a folder, and then I just like save some values and then try to look through each one of them. Since in this one I was trying to convert a widescreen video like this into a vertical, that's what this is going to do. It's going to just like repurpose that and cut out like a middle section of the video instead. I was also grabbing the video feed like this one. So I grabbed the video in the corner. I don't know if that's flipped. But I grabbed the video feed in the corner as well as a separate video, and then I can just smash those together. So I have like the actual middle content and then the video feed at the bottom. And then would loop through all the clips that I've created based on that to reformat them. And then I think rewrite those and then read through all of them again to look at the new clip that's created, and then combine the clips back together. So basically I wanted to create so I pulled all those individual clips out, want to smash them back into one video, and then create one single short out of it. So I'm gonna have to change that too, because like this is only creating one single short. I'm gonna actually need to probably create multiple shorts. So this is gonna have to get more complicated now that I think about it. Yeah, then again, just using GPT to come up with the command to combine those clips, where it's like, hey, here are all the video files. Give me a custom FFmpeg command to smash all those video clips together. And then since you need the transcript, like technically I got the transcript originally at the beginning, but now that the clips have moved around, like the timing may be slightly different. So I think at this point it's worthwhile to just run the transcript again for the new version of the clip. That way the timings are based on the actual source and not like having to readjust all of the original timestamps. But then that would get the new transcript file. And then based on that, I was trying to create a subtitle file to be able to put some captions on the video based on what was said. And then write that file out and add that transcript. So I have to basically create like a .srt file or something, a subtitle file, and then add that into FFmpeg to then apply those subtitles to the video. So this is a rough working outline. I'm probably going to break this apart a little bit in the future, and probably have a couple different steps where the first step will be like looking at the whole thing, because like ideally I'm picturing streaming for a couple hours. So this is going to be a really long transcript, then have like a master command to look through the entire transcript and try to identify the big clips and then break those up, and then probably run this through again and have like the like really big clips, and then break the big clips down into smaller clips, and then like in shorts, whatever that looks like. So anyway, this is kind of the whole purpose. And then all of this stuff though is probably what's going to be in the Skool community. So I'll be posting all that here, and probably recording videos like this and putting those in there too. Yeah, that's going to be kind of the goal here. I definitely think it's possible. I mean, the biggest restrictions here, like I can run this all locally, which is nice. I'm currently on a MacBook, and I mean, MacBooks are pretty good, but from what I've seen, as far as like transcribing video or even just audio, you could technically rip the audio off the video just to make the file smaller. It's still going to take a while. So basically, it's kind of almost 1-to-1, depending on how many words are in the how much speaking, the speed of speaking, and that kind of thing in the video. But if I have a 6-hour video, it's probably going to take like 6 hours for this MacBook to transcribe the whole thing. Like maybe a little bit shorter than that, maybe like a half hour off. But I do have a gaming machine, which has a much stronger GPU. So I know at one point I tested where I transcribed like a 45-minute video on this MacBook, and then I took it over to the gaming machine that I don't even know if you can see in the background, maybe. Yeah, you can. It's underneath that TV over there. But running the transcript in the GPU, then it took like a 45-minute transcript down to like a 5-minute process. But Aiden, what's up, man? From YouTube, how's it going? Thank you for stopping by if you're still around. Yeah, that was kind of what's going on here. So again, like I want to be able to run this whole thing for free. Not entirely for free. I mean, GPT you're gonna have to pay for. DeepSeek seems to be pretty high on the ranking leaderboard, so DeepSeek could be an easy one. Like again, if you have a decent amount of RAM and a decent GPU, this entire system could potentially run for free on your own computer, which I would probably recommend more than trying to like get this deployed out or anything like that. So that's going to be the goal, is like hopefully run it all locally and just making an efficient, cheap process to turn hours of content into valuable stuff and do it automatically without having to, sift through it yourself or pay for somebody else to do it. Obviously, like it's probably good to hire an editor or whatever, but like hours, like 5-6 hour streams become a little bit untenable. So you can use AI to do it. Like it would make that a lot more usable and hopefully, be able to get some valuable content out of it, especially, be able to cut gems out of like 4 or 5 hour chunks. Hopefully would be able to find something and not have to use all of it, but at least you have a good source of content. Cheap views on streamboo.com. Nice. Thanks, NimbleSolve. Twitch is still going with the spam bots. Good stuff. All right, so that's probably what's going to be maybe like the front half of this. Working on front half of each one of these streams is working on this kind of system where I'm taking the entire stream and reprocessing it, and then from there, hopefully I'm definitely going to need some other automations because I'm running some other stuff for the business side of things. So anyway, yeah, this would be the part where I'd probably work on that. And I do want to get to some of the other like recommendations that other people have had in the community. So I know a couple guys. So I know Sean's asked for a couple things. I need to get back to that. So I'll definitely be doing that. I know he was looking for like a YouTube competitor kind of analysis system, which I think should be pretty easy to get a workflow going for that. And then I know KK I think has asked for some LinkedIn automation help. So that one's gonna be tougher. I was kind of looking at it. It's hard to get to LinkedIn content without using Apify. I mean, I know, and I don't really like Apify just because they basically are breaking terms of service, and it's fine. They can get it to work, I guess, but it's just like that's a time bomb. Like you're building on top of a system that's gonna eventually fall apart. So that stuff makes me nervous. I don't like relying on Apify for that. But I feel like it was probably a middle ground where you can use your own searches on LinkedIn and then use that to then generate content. And then I'm trying to think what else. Then I think these guys have asked about some AI video using like VO3 to create shorts, and definitely understand that. Like I don't really have an issue with it. So we will definitely try to figure out a way to do that as well. Just saw like the GTA video that the WAP guys made, which was pretty legit. Like it's pretty cool. So I think a pipeline that could build something like that would be really cool. I don't know. I haven't looked into this too much, but yeah, they run a couple AI systems. So this is probably not going to be very cheap because you have to run through Luma AI to be able to create the GTA style videos, and then they have to upscale it through Astra. So like that does not sound cheap at all. Then obviously you have to do your own editing. So like you probably wouldn't entirely rely on AI to do it, but you could. But I think it'd be cool to have like a workflow that could at least map out some of that stuff and give you some of that stuff ready to go. So marketing material, I guess, would be the goal there. But okay, that's AI and automation. That's going to kind of be where this thing falls in. And double check real quick. Still not too much activity in the chat. So I'm gonna have to figure out. I probably should not be doing it just on my laptop. Multiple screens would be very helpful here. Okay, so the other half of this. So I've already kind of covered like what's going on with AI automation and live streaming and the goal for that. First half will be kind of keeping track of that, and then the second half is going to be vibe coding. So we are going to do some vibe coding. So this is Wave. Actually, hang on. This is not Wave. This is the code for Wave. Wave is my app that I've been mobile app I've been vibe coding for the last like 7 months. So yeah, then this is the other part to catch up on. So Wave is basically a nightlife app, and the goal for now is mostly to hopefully give users a way to find out like what's going on, give them something to do, or give them a way to find out what's going on in their city and find something to do in the when they're out, and then at the same time also an opportunity to connect promoters with those people. So like most people or I guess like the best scenario is like you go out to a bar like with your friends or wherever, go out to a party with your friends, and then it turns out to be lame. There's not many people, whatever, people start leaving. So now you're kind of wondering like what else is going on, and there's really nowhere to go to figure that out online. I mean, besides just trying to like check your Instagram feed, check your Snapchat feed, just to see if anybody else has talked about anything that's happening that night. So the goal of Wave is to try to fix that. Like, hey, like we live in a time now where it's like it's pretty easy to be able to keep track of that as far as what's going on tonight. Other people can post what they're doing, and the other thing here is that we can actually kind of turn it hopefully into like a service, where kind of like an Uber approach, where you can be like, hey, I'm out right now, I'm looking for something that's nearby, just looking at pregame right now, and then you can set a plan and say like, hey, that's what I'm trying to do right now, and I'm in a test city, so not much is going on in my test city, but in a real city, that would then hopefully that's going to allow the promoters that have signed up for this on the business side of the app to see this and see, hey, like this guy's looking for something to do. You should come to my club. And so there will be once you've created your profile, you would be able to get DMs, get like a notification from somebody that's like, hey, the Wave Lounge is half a mile away. Like we're looking for whatever. If we're doing half price drinks or whatever, you should come hang out. And that way it gives, as a user, you can kind of feel, it gives you something to do. You can have people actually offering you, an option of what to do in the evening. And it give you a chance to maybe connect with other people too. So you can definitely message other people that you know, meeting at that place. If you can go and hang out, like you can connect on the Wave app. But the live feed here is also part of that, which is kind of cool, where we're trying to keep it focused on what's happening that night. So you don't see, posts from weeks ago. I mean, technically this is it is July 27th, and this post is from July 8th. But the idea is like this feed stays pretty clear, and that way, like when you're out, you're not seeing posts from like last week or even the night before. It's like it's only for what's going on right now. So we kind of try to keep it focused on like what's happening that evening, and then on top of that, so you've got, you'll have like your social posts here. If you're looking for something to do, you can create your planned, and then you can kind of see like what other venues are around. So like if you're gonna go hang out at the Test Lounge, you can go do that. Get some details about like what that place is, what are the hours, like what's the vibe like, what's the music type normally, what's the neighborhood they're in, to kind of figure out what's nearby. I'm on iOS, so it won't let me calculate the distance. But technically, I think my iOS phone simulator is in San Francisco, so it would be incredibly far away from here. But it kind of gives you an idea of like, okay, these are some of the places that are nearby. We can go hang out. And then this is like people have posted lately, like, hey, you should come there. They're doing free drinks. They're whatever. My friends are there now. But also, you can check out what's going on with video. So there will be live videos of, people can post what's going on wherever they're at. So if I switch over to, we're only doing a couple areas right now, Miami and Chicago. But like if you go to Miami, you can see that like we got video. Somebody's at the Marlins game, so that's pretty legit. Or like in a club. So anyway, that's kind of the whole goal, is like be able to have a live feed kind of what's going on, kind of go figure out like, there you go, happy hour from 3 to 6 tonight at Serena Rooftop. So kind of gives you an idea of what's going on in the area that you're at, if you're just looking for something to do. So that's the whole goal here. I'm gonna have to change myself back to the test city. So that's what the Wave app is. That's what I've actually AI vibe coded the whole thing. Now, granted, I will say like this is not entirely vibe coded. It's a vast majority of the code has been generated by AI. So I have not written the code myself, but I have definitely kept an eye on it. I have guided it to work on what I wanted to work on. And yeah, so it has not been completely vibe coded, but it's pretty heavily vibe coded. And I talked to the AI a lot about it. So, all right, let me update this. So, all right, and that was also part of this, trying to figure out like how to not completely dox the whole process. Want to talk about what's going on here. I want to talk about, how I built the app and that kind of thing. But can't give away too much. But can definitely work on it in public and kind of show what's going on. So is that the same spam? All right, now this should be back to Test City. All right, back in the Test City with my test profile. Just and kind of finishing up like the Wave app itself. You can create your plans on the home screen. You can change your region. Got a few mapped out for now. Not Test City, but Chicago, Miami are the active ones right now. We got more planned for later. Those venues actually have, or those regions actually have a decent amount of venues there. You can go check out the details for. You will see like activity from people here. You can post an update once you've completed your profile, and then you will be able to also DM, so you can message people through the app. And then then this is your basic profile. You can change your picture here. You can see you can follow people and people can follow you, and then friends are just if you both follow each other, so you're mutually following. It's pretty straightforward there. And then then you'll be able to manage your content here. You can see your posts. You can delete your posts from here. You can add a new video here as well, even though like there's options to add a video there too. And then manage your current videos. And these will, you can add them. They will get wiped out every like 6 hours or so, just to kind of keep things fresh. So they won't be on for very long. Then basic profile management here. Change your home profile or your home region. Add a bio. Add your phone number. Connect to your social. So this is pretty legit app. It is actually live on the App Store now, so it's out there. I've got some work to do as far as getting some extra features done. We're changing things around a little bit as far as functionality goes, and trying to make it like right now, trying to make it easier to log in. Right now, it actually requires you to fill out your profile, but we don't want to stop people, I guess, from logging in and checking out the app and making sure that it feels valuable before you even create your profile. So actually just reorganize that a little bit so that you can actually get into the app just by signing up, and then you can immediately start creating a plan and kind of start to use the app as is without really having to commit much at all. So you don't even have to create a profile, and you can try to start using it. So let's see. Go ahead and log out real quick. The Wave. So just going to sign back in. You can sign in with Google. You can sign in with Apple, or just a normal name and password. So no profile at the Wave Nightlife.com. Super secret password. All right, and we're back in. So that would be your experience too. You would sign up and you'd be on it. So that's the whole goal with the app. The app itself is run in Supabase. So, I guess technically, like the app itself actually is two major components. There is a React Native component. So the app itself that you're actually seeing is the iPhone, like the stuff you see on the iPhone right here. This is all React Native. So I've mostly used AI to kind of get through developing that whole foundation of the app itself. And then there's some, then the data itself. So I do use the Supabase service. So Supabase is really just a paid service to be able to run a Postgres database. I would have run my own custom database, but Supabase does offer, it's a little bit more managed as far as, they manage the tables for you, and Security, so there's definitely some built-in security already, which is really nice. Authentication was really the biggest thing. Like I didn't want to have to roll my own authentication. They've already got methods included to be able to do that. So that was probably the biggest thing, was being able to set up authentication, like I showed earlier with logging in. Sign in with Google and sign in with Apple. Supabase already has methods to handle that and manage the session, which makes it way easier. And they do handle the session as far as like being logged in and that kind of thing. So that's what that was a big benefit for using Supabase. Technically, you can get started, I think, for free. I forget exactly what the tier was, but we ended up right now. This is running on just like a pro plan because it's enough to handle what we needed to handle. But yeah, eventually probably need to scale more than that. But right now, I think the pro plan will handle up to like a couple 100,000 users. So it's pretty manageable at this point. I think the cap is like either 10 or 100,000 daily active users, which is pretty generous. Yeah, there we go. So egress is like the only thing I've been trying to keep track of. The video that I was just showing earlier, video is going to burn through egress really fast. So I have some custom algorithms to handle that, and a custom service to handle that. But yeah, otherwise, like the pro plan for Supabase, pretty great. It's a good place to start. Pretty generous. Yeah, there we go. So it can handle, what was that? Go back to that. 100,000 monthly active users. So that's quite a bit. That's plenty of room to get started. So that's kind of a high level view of Wave. I guess one other piece there. So again, like the app itself is React Native with Expo, and then the backend. So the database is Supabase, which is just like, yeah, again, a paid service provider for a Postgres database. And then the last part is I do have some other services to kind of help with stuff. So like not everything can operate just off of that. Like there's certain things that I can't store in the database and can't store in the app itself. So some of the methods, so basically like I said, I have a custom service that's running in, I have like 5 or so services that are running in AWS right now. They just run through AWS Lambda, and they handle a couple different things as far as push notifications. So I needed to have an external service to be able to handle push notifications. So like if somebody sends you a message in Wave, once you're in the chat, you will get a push notification on your app like, hey, somebody sent you a message. So that has to be an external service. And then I just went ahead and it was easier to tie the messaging service in with that. So like when the message is sent, it can connect to the push notification service. So those are both running through AWS instead of through anything else, because I can't really have that service running on everybody's phones. And then, yeah, then like I mentioned for video, I have a compression service basically, which is really just kind of FFmpeg. Managing when you upload a video, it will grab the video and then compress it down to be much smaller. Because like I think if you record a 10-second video on your iPhone, it ends up being like 10 megabytes, which is a lot, because every time you view that video, that's 10 megabytes of data being served. So I went ahead and set up a system that will let you upload your video, and then we'll save that original, but then we'll smash that video way down to like 720p and keep it like basically under a megabyte, I think. So that way it's like way faster to serve, and it's also way cheaper because it's not going to burn through. Supabase is going to let us have about 250 gigabytes of bandwidth. So I want to try to stay below that threshold so we don't have to pay for more, at least for now. So I've got the push notification service, message service, compression service for the video and images too. Try to make sure that like the profile image you upload, if it's huge, like we'll squish that down because it doesn't need to be that big. Just for a thumbnail, doesn't need anything crazy. And then I've got a couple other services as well, mostly for being able to delete your account. So if you want to delete it, that runs through another service. And I think that's pretty much it. And then I guess there's another one I need services for if you reset your password, and then I need a way to be able to pull that back in and make sure your password gets reset correctly from the outside. And then there's one other one I just added, and I forget what it was. that I had to do that too. So anyway, but yeah, so that's kind of a high level overview of what the Wave app is and kind of how it works. I need to work on it a little bit more because we're in the process of changing some stuff. But yeah, I also wanted to get on here and try to get started on that. Try to get a little bit of a live stream, get used to this live stream system. Trying to decide if it's going to be viable to work on the app and not have too much of a system. I don't know, not share too much. I don't want to. I can't. I don't want to expose anything sensitive, so I have to be a little bit careful about how I fly through things. But at the same time, I think it'd be super useful to see like some live code and live feature work. So I think probably what I'll end up doing is probably just sticking with like full cam for a little bit, and then that way I can kind of work on stuff. I can flip back and forth, show what's going on, and then we can go from there. So yeah, been live for about an hour. Nice. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I was gonna say I don't know. You can leave me messages in the chat, and I will try to remember here and there to go check it out, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, this is a good start. We got an hour streaming already done. How about that? What a concept. Okay, so yeah, this is mostly, I guess, just going to be like a hangout for now. Yeah, because like my sneaky goal here is to have a live recording of what's going on. Okay. Oh, I guess probably talk about this a little bit more actually. So I mentioned I've been vibe coding, and the way that I've been doing that is my patented vibe coding process is I don't know. Actually, I haven't figured it out yet. I probably need to figure that out. I've been using Gemini Pro kind of as my daily driver for generating code. It seems to do well. It still seems to be at the top of the leaderboard. So on Marina leaderboard, I am a human. I promise. Yeah, it still sits at the top even for text and for web dev. I think this is primarily web dev, so I feel like that's relevant. I'm a little worried with like backend and that kind of thing. So I have the backend services running in Go, which is, I guess technically web dev. Go is kind of just like the new version or whatever, an updated version of Java, but it works better for web first. I don't know. Arguably it's like more of like C, I guess. I don't know. Go's kind of its own thing. But anyway, I have Go microservices that are running in the background. And then the rest of the app is React Native, which I think, React Native basically falls in the category of web dev. But anyway, so Gemini Pro 2.5, still at the top of the leaderboard. I've had, a lot of good luck with it. It seems to be working pretty well for me. So that's a big part of my process. I will come into, and I'm doing this kind of on the cheap because I will hit the browser, and Gemini Pro in the browser, I believe, is free. So I can kind of hit this with some heavy amounts of code and don't have to pay for it. As soon as you get into running it through the AI or whatever, or running it through the API, then you start paying. It's a pretty good price. I think Gemini Pro is like $2 per million tokens, and I forget, there's like an input versus output. Output is a little bit more, but it's pretty comparable to everything else as far as like GPT. I think GPT-4 or GPT-03, it's about the same price, and same with like GPT 4.1. I haven't been doing Claude Code as much. I kind of got annoyed with Claude for a while. So again, you might have already spotted, I use primarily Cursor now with like, the AI chat built right in. And I was using Otto, but I forgot I actually switched it. I don't know. I mean, a couple months ago, I was getting really frustrated with Claude because it would just kind of randomly change things. I would tell it to update something in here, and then it would like inevitably always end up changing the styling of like whatever screen I was on. It's like, oh, cool. And it would just like randomly come down here and change some of the CSS, even though I did not tell it to. Usually I was having it like fix something or work on something else. And then these would just like randomly have changes in it. So I kind of stopped trusting Claude a little bit just because it seemed like that happened a lot. And then, I mean, the new version got released, and I still felt like I kind of saw a little bit here and there where even 3.7 or whatever was kind of being a little weird. And then, yeah, now Claude 4 is out. So like, I mean, that might be, I think, I know Sonnet and Opus, I know Opus is supposed to be even better. I've tested a little bit, but I don't know. I've kind of stuck with GPT 4.1 just because I know GPT 4.1 was kind of, I don't know, at least according to OpenAI, and from what I've seen, it's much more instruction driven. So it's much better at stepping through, like, here's like, step 1, 2, 3, 4. And so a lot of times what I end up doing is when I will have Gemini basically handle the problem from the high level, like I explain what I want it to do, and then I dump in the code to give it context, then it will read through that and then spit out a full answer of like, okay, like this is what we're going to change, and it usually has like steps. And so I can usually just take that entire response and then dump it into the chat in Cursor. And if I leave it on 4.1, 4.1 is very good at following step-by-step instruction. So it will typically go through that entire response, and it'll do things as it was told, as far as like step 1, make these changes, step 2. And then the big benefit there again with Cursor is that it's like built into the code repo. So Gemini is only working from the context of the files that I gave it, but GPT 4.1 inside of Cursor has the full context, so it can react in real time then, because sometimes Gemini will not know, and it'll create a syntax error just because it's like, oh, I didn't totally know how I stored that method or whatever, how to reference it. But GPT can then see that, and they can just make the correction as it's handling those steps. And it's made a pretty solid workflow that I've been using for about 6 months now. The only other major component here is copying stuff over. So I've gotten really dependent on repo prompt, just because it makes things really easy, as opposed to like, okay, I know I need these 15 files or something. So rather than having to come in here, copy the content of that file, go to the next file, copy the content of that file, and try to like put them all, and then like copy and paste back and forth into GPT or into the Gemini chat repo prompt, I can just connect to the repo. It can see the entire structure of the repo. I can just search for files in here and click add, and then it will add the code from those files. And then I can just hit copy, and then it'll take all those files, tokenize them, creates a nice little outlined structure, and then I can paste it into Gemini. And now I can explain the problem and then paste the structure of the code that I want to talk about. And then it can then have a lot more context in what I'm trying to do, and then it can spit out a nice answer. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, as far as vibe coding and all that. I mean, as far as like mechanics go, that's the overview of how this works. More to come on that. Just wanted to kind of like touch on how that process works. Yeah. Boss are awesome. Wow, thank you, Kanzu. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm still getting used to. Oh, what's that? Number 2 fan. All right, that away. I haven't streamed on YouTube too much, so that's kind of weird. Got to get used to this, but yeah, appreciate it, man. Cool. So yeah, back to vibe coding. Man, sorry, I'm jumping around here. I'm gonna stick with the stream. Easiest way to probably keep track of all that stuff. Don't want to stop yet, but yeah, kind of gone over the vibe coding process, and now I gotta do some actual work. So last thing I was working on in the app was I had made some changes, I guess, as far as, like I said, for the profile login. Made it so that you can, if you have no profile, if you haven't completed your profile, you can still log in and use everything in the app. Then there was definitely some visual bugs that I was seeing. I think some of these screens I did not build very well. They're not super efficient. So I was going to go back and try to clean up those a little bit. So that was going to be next on the docket as far as trying to fix this vibe code situation. Yeah, so that's probably what I'm gonna focus on now. Trying to decide if I want to do that live or not. Just because I don't want to accidentally dox too much about the app. I think most of this is pretty safe to share. I don't think I have the repo public. I don't think I'm gonna make the repo public for now. We're gonna keep it private for now. Yeah, cool. But yeah, but don't mind talking about it while I'm working on it though. So that's going to be kind of the goal. So I think that's kind of the vibe. We're just kind of hanging out. We're hanging out. We're working on apps. We're vibe coding, and we're automating. So all right. After all that, I'm going to take a quick break. So I will be right back. Do I have my BRB? Yeah, nice. Featuring Twitch spam. Is that okay? I think this is only tied into Twitch. Oh wait. Oh wait, there we go. Yeah, my audio is not on the BRB. Okay, now yeah, I'll be right back. Okay. I think I might have, in my brief break, figured out what I want to do. So I think what I'm going to do, at least for now, I need a new screen probably. How do I? Oh, encoding overloaded. That doesn't sound good. I don't know what that means. Where did that go? Oh man. Yeah, what's that? Consider you're using a faster encoding preset. Whoa. Okay. Hopefully my video's not crashing. Let's see what's going on. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. Oh man, and this does a pretty good job of noise suppression. Good deal. Good deal. Okay. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I need a new screen. And app preview. All right. All right. Okay. And then I'm going to add, let's do a window capture. Right. Missed it. Where just want to. Oh, you can't window capture. Oh, interesting. Okay. How does that work? Screen capture, audio capture, image, color, capture card device browser. Whoa, really? I can't capture a window? Interesting. It's a Siphon client. Do a scene within a scene? Oh man, I don't want to do that. Weird. I thought you media source. I don't want local file. Um, that was not what. I don't know. I may need a multi-image situation here. Color capture. So I don't want audio. I can do browser, I guess. Weird. Capture card device. Don't want that. Color. Wait. Can I? Actually, maybe. Can I get to my? Oh, okay. Cancel. Remove. Um, media source is an image. Mac OS audio capture. Mac OS screen capture. Yeah, I need multiple. I need multiple screens then. That's gonna be. That's how it's gonna be. Scene. Siphon client. I don't know what that is. Okay. What does that mean? I have no idea what that is. All right. I'll be I'll show back up here in a minute here. Video capture device. That's video capture device is a camera, so I don't want that. Move. Yes. And VLC video source, which is just gonna oof, hopefully not crash this. Okay. Well, bummer. My brilliant idea is not gonna work, I guess. So how do I do that? So I want to be able to show the app, but I guess I'm gonna need a different window. So I need another monitor, I guess. Laptop's not gonna cut it. May have to switch. Um, bummer. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just be hanging out here. Camera. That's super crazy though. I can't believe they got rid of window capture. I mean, I could probably just do it anyway, right? Deprecate window capture. iOS simulator. Cool, cool. All right. Well, yeah, I'm going to do it anyway, even though it's deprecated, I guess. Super weird. Wonder what else they want me to do. All right. And then I want to add one more window capture. Yeah, chat browser. Google Chrome. Chat. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Way too large. Let's fix that. Almost there. Almost there. All right. Pretty good. Pretty good. That'll work. Kind of. Yeah, we can cheat a little bit there. something like that. And then can bring that, can I do a, yeah, order, move up, go, put that in front of it. And one more. Hey, there we go. I am back. All right. How was that? Looking a little sloppy, but I think we're good. I think that'll work. Cool. Let me see what I look like on here. Yeah, not bad. I don't know if this is like totally lagging out. Let me listen to this real quick. Yeah, yeah, live feed. Yeah, live feed's not bad at all. All right, sweet. So we can vibe code to our heart's content. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think this is what I was looking for. That way, you can see the app, you can see what's going on. You can see what I'm chatting with about, or chatting about, uh, chatting with AI about, and uh, yeah, then I don't have to give away too much on the code side of things. I mean, yeah, I think this is pretty safe. I think this is pretty safe. This will probably work. Also trying to decide if this is uh, yeah, maybe not the most productive work environment, but it'll work. I think it'll work. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is good. This is good. This is good stuff. Okay. App work preview. Yeah. Let's see. Let's try to be a little bit organized about this. App with browser. Yeah, cool. Yeah, good deal. Good deal. Okay. So we're vibing. We are vibing. Has there been any activity on how does no, I don't know about the Twitch one or not the Twitch X live streaming on X. It's a weird, it's a new one for me. That one I am totally unfamiliar with. I was trying to think. So no, is YouTube YouTube's cut is I think you can stream for like 6 hours before they make you start over. I forget what the limitation is on that. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. Uh, but I think we're good for the moment. Oh wow, no way! How did it do that? Oh, that's crazy. Okay, weird. So YouTube sent me an email that's like, oh hey, your stream is live an hour ago. But then when I clicked on it, it shows a screenshot from like right now. So it must use that as a live preview. That's crazy. Okay, um, this is good. This is good. An hour and 18 minutes. What so much content. So much potential here. Hmm. Wow. An hour without proper lighting. Hey, there we go. Okay. So I think this is the future. This is the future. Double check that I'm not getting text messages that I need to respond to urgently. Not yet. Okay. Then yeah, I can safely check my work board and not give away totally everything. Okay. Um, yeah. So I definitely know when I started. I think some of these animations in the app are are not great. They're like really underperformant. So that was something I was going to work on, is trying to make sure that those clean up well. Let's do this. Okay. GitHub is all up to date, so don't need to do anything there. Let's go ahead and get that restarted. I think GitHub desktop just restarted. Yeah, okay, cool. We are good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch over to my desktop at some point, because I don't know if this is gonna cut it. Got too much going on here, but it is nice to be able to just stream from my laptop. But standing desk situation would be very helpful right now. Been sitting here for a while. Okay. So yeah, like I said, the goal now is, I think, really to prioritize performance. Front end optimization. So it's looking through show perf monitor. It's kind of looking at that. There's a couple times where it drops below 55, but it doesn't drop super low. So that I'm not as worried about. And then memoizing the lists. That's probably, I think, the big one here. We want to make sure the lists are memoized, and that should hopefully make sure that this doesn't get too bogged down. So I've seen a couple times where like the buttons just like won't load, so that is a bit of an issue. Because like right now that's looking pretty good. Yeah, that animation right there, right? Got to make sure that that's not an issue. You know what? And I'm going to duplicate this. And for this one, I'm going to do that with no chat, just in case. Wait, no. Oh, what? I don't want to know. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Go delete. Gonna need some sort of like filler here. Kind of just an empty void with just an app floating here. Probably find something else safe to show here too. There we go. Yeah, like that. I like that. Keeps you focused, you know. One thing at a time. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out what else could go there. What would be helpful? I guess like the current task maybe would be kind of what's going on. Maybe that's probably what's going to happen here. Yeah, if that was the case, I could do a share browser for like Excalidraw and then just have that, or just have like a chat. They have like a. Can I just add text? I think I can do that, right? Just do free type text. Sure. Current notes. Oh, nice. Whoa. Select font. Can I change fonts? Ooh. That's not what I want. How about, what do I want? I don't have any good fonts on here. I want. Do I want? They don't have Google fonts. What's going on here? Not a lot of great options here. Wow, let's see. I mean, can't go wrong with the ever popular Montserrat. Montserrat Bold. Why are you not applying that styling? Bold. Why is it not bolding? Huh? Okay. Show log lines, color, select color, outline, drop shadow, custom text width. What crap? Okay. Bold. It's not picking it up. That makes me feel better, I guess. Black. Go. Okay. Size works, yes. 64. Yeah. And light, medium, bold. Not going to do it, huh? Bummer. Optimizing UI performance. Line break. There we go. Yeah, nice. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. This is something. This is a place to start. All right. What are we doing? Memoizing items in the list, or targeting refactor, use callback. Yeah, we probably need some use callbacks just to make sure that it's loading properly. And let's see. So I'm going to say, can we come up with a standard to optimize all of the animations in the app? It's thinking. Thinking, thinking, thinking. Interesting. Yeah. So keep the animations off the JavaScript thread and UI thread. When the JavaScript thread is busy, it can't send updates to the UI thread in time, causing drop frames, stutters, and jank. The button that animates in late is a classic symptom of JS thread being blocked by other work, like rendering a list. Okay. Standard will be built around React Native Reanimated, which I'm already using. Matters the anti-pattern is bad. Use effect set. Oh yeah, wow. Okay. Yeah, I guess this is part where I was like, I don't want to have like show everything because I might actually dump some logs into this bad boy and see if we can figure out what's going on from that. Use layout animations for enter-exit transitions. Yeah, okay. Oh boy. Item. It's kind of more what I was expecting. It's a lot of files to fix. Okay. Something I've kind of started doing recently is I have a kind of like an overview file. I know it's funny. I was kind of inspired by Gemini CLI because it when it first started, it was like, hey, I'm going to generate a Gemini MD file, so like a Gemini Markdown file, which kind of gives it instructions on like how to operate, which is really kind of nice. Just like a built-in like contextual file, and so the only thing is like I noticed some weird stuff where like if you at least the one time I ran Gemini CLI for free and then I ran out of context really quickly. Like I ran out of tokens. But it added the Gemini. It asked if it could add the Gemini file to my project. It's like, yeah, sure, let's do that. And so once I did that, I was having it. I think I had to try to have it run some unit tests, then it immediately got stuck in a loop, and then just like ran out of context. And it was like, hey, I can't continue anymore. You have to switch models. It's like, all right, cool, yeah, whatever. I'm done. But then when I went and copied that Gemini Markdown file later, I put it into the chat, and it kind of freaked out. It was it was like trying to act like it was inside of the repo when it wasn't. And so I was like, oh, okay, so don't want to include the Gemini.md file in the browser chat because it doesn't know what to do. So I will not do that. I'm going to just do my own like overview file, which is basically just a copy of it to make sure that it has an overview of what I'm doing, but it isn't completely directly or isn't confused into thinking it's running in a browser or in a IDE. The standard is an excellent way to maintain consistency in project growth, codifying best practices. Okay. Yeah, cool. So I can show this real quick, actually. Switch over to that. So yeah. So and that's what I was talking about. This like, I have like an overview.md, and then I had some TanStack query best practice, mostly needed like a query caching system to make sure that like you're not constantly spamming the database with the same queries over and over. So there's a library to handle that where it will keep track of your queries, and then you can it'll cache them. So that way if you try to run a query and you've already run that query, it'll just like keep track of what it happened last time, rather than just like spamming the same thing over and over. But at the same time, it will save those queries so it can create stale data where you're trying, like, especially like when you're loading the post screen, you kind of want that to actually, pull recent stuff. So if it's being cached, then you're pulling from the cache, you're not getting the most recent updates. So then you can do that. You can do the drag down, then like it'll basically, I think it actually does is like a mutation. So like it'll, invalidate the current cache, run the query again. Let's see what else is new right now. So kind of balancing that. Not all of the app is using that yet, so I need to make sure that the rest of the app does that. So I just kind of I had it outline best steps and how to do that, and then I can use that as a reference later. So kind of doing the same thing with animation now, so that I can say, okay, here's our standard for animations. Let's make sure that the rest of the app actually runs off of those standards. And what I'm going to do is just copy this whole thing. So I've got a pretty long answer here, but not too bad. So then I'm going to go into GPT, into Cursor and have GPT apply that. So say on one, oh crap, nope. And I can show this real quick too, to kind of give an idea of like what I'm doing. So switch back to MacFull, or not MacFull. I want to do share screen. Yeah. Okay. So say let's apply these updates, and then I just literally take the whole thing and paste it in, and then it's good to go. So then it's gonna go through and update this, not the Gemini file, but the overview file. Yeah, cool. So if you go review next file, you'll see what it's added, and then I can kind of use this overview file then as a context to include in the future. So yeah, pretty simple as far as like the vibe code process. Once you've got the content you want to, you've got the answer that you want. Usually I like read through it to make sure that it makes sense, and then once like, okay, yeah, that sounds good, then I can copy the text and then drop it over here in Cursor and then go into the AI chat. And usually, if you don't tell it to apply, it'll just go through everything, and then like it'll sometimes just only outline the changes in the chat, but it won't actually apply them. So you'll get boxes like this where it's like, oh, I can come in here and copy the change. And what's weird with this little box in general is kind of funky because okay, that one doesn't do it. Okay, sometimes it will be relative to the file you're looking at. So if like you're on a different file, then it will just be like, oh, do you want to apply these changes to your current file, even though it's talking about a different file. So it's like, no, I don't want to apply those changes to a file that I'm not looking at. So or that I don't want to change files for a different or make changes for a different file and apply them to the current file that I'm looking at. So I don't know. That's something to be careful about. I've just noticed a few times that like sometimes it's like, oh yeah, do you want to make these changes to this current file? Like, no, I don't. But anyway, if you like before you paste in, the output from Gemini or wherever, like before you use the instruction, just kind of pre-prompt GPT with the first thing of like, all right, let's apply these changes. Like, let's make these changes, kind of giving it indirect permission to say like, yeah, go ahead and make the change. Don't ask me for permission to make the change later. Let's go ahead and do it. So anyway, it has done that. We're good to go on that. And whoops. Now I can start using that for future prompting context. So let's go back to the app previewer. Do I wait? Did that flip? I don't know why it does that. Let me. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if I'm being weird. I guess I guess it's mirrored. That's what I'm used to looking at. But yeah, whatever. Cool. Good to go on that. All right. So animation best practices taken care of. Let's go ahead and start applying some of these biggest offenders. Layout animations for enter and exit. Get back to JS thread. I guess one other thing I didn't mention, but I do tend to bounce in and out of the GPT app as well, just because it's kind of nice. I have a old bad habit, I guess, of alt tabbing or on Mac control tabbing. So I will use that as kind of like as a backup as well. You can't always trust the AI 100%, so I will drop an answer into GPT to be like, hey, like, does this make sense? And even you could just kind of redundantly go into the same AI too. So you could get an answer from Gemini, turn around and give it the exact, paste its answer back into the chat and be like, hey, does this make sense? And like, it's just going to treat that as it has a little bit of memory, of course. Like, it's probably going to recognize like, oh yeah, that's what I just told you. But it will, cause it to then like run through it again and make sure like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So that's definitely something to be aware of, especially as you're vibe coding. You can't be too careful as far as trusting the AI too much. You can trust but verify for sure, or run it through a couple AIs and see what happens. So pretty crazy. Okay. I need to make sure that we can get this applied. So yeah, now that I've got this file, I can use that as a reference. So then speaking of, actually, I'm going to run that through GPT as well. So I'm going to say, hey, use repo prompt to grab my new overview file. Oh, wait. What? Weird. Or something. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay. Wrong copy paste. Cool. Let me grab that file. So overview. Here is my new standard. I updated my overview.md file. Include standards for animations within the app. Make sense in terms of best practice. To use this as a source going forward. Cool. Okay, I'm going to let GPT read through that overview real quick just to make sure, like I said, and then I'm actually going to take a quick break and I will be right back. Oh, forgot to turn the audio off on the BRB screen. That's okay. Cool. Let's just do app preview for now. We are vibe coding away. Let's see what GPT said. Oh, okay. Use shared value over use state. Validate only the first few list items. The animate first in items pattern avoids kicking off dozens. Yeah, like that. Flag that devs should pair it with a virtualized list. Shopify flat list. What? Oh, okay. Weird. Use entering, exiting layout animations. Every child needs a stable key or React may skip the animation. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. And then run on OS or run on JS for post animation callbacks. Quick example, passing values back. Cool. Adding a GPU friendly property note. Of course, the only capacity and transform stay on the compositor layer. Animating with height or shadow props can still hitch even on the UI thread. Okay. Respect the reuser's reduced motion setting. Oh man, okay. Man, yeah. Sometimes GPT gets like real picky about stuff, which is kind of cool. Let's see what happens. We're vibe coding on top of vibe coding. Worth updating. Do not time. Oh, we're almost to 2 hours. Almost at the 2 hour mark. I think I might call it at 2 hours. I think it's a good foundation. Good intro back. It's a nice long stream. I forget. I don't know. Back in the day, I think the recommendation was that you really had to be live for at least 2 hours, at least for Twitch, before Twitch decided like, oh yeah, you're worth like promoting because you've been online for a while. Now we'll start recommending it to other people watching. But also at back to being at really low activity. It's definitely not incentivized to promote my channel yet, but we'll get there. But yeah, no, I think 2 hours will just be a solid one. Unfortunately, I got a really late start. I think tomorrow I'm actually gonna start pretty early, and then we'll see about what's going on there. Also, gonna double check that it's cool that I share some of this stuff online. I think it's fine. Haven't shared anything crazy yet, but would really like to kind of get this build in public system down. Really kind of adhere to that. So we are working with it on the fly. So cool. Let's see. So what I just did is I just took the chat from GPT, or I took the overview that Gemini created, had cursors inside of Cursor. I used GPT 4.1 apply the changes of Gemini's recommended changes. Then I took that new version, I put that in GPT 03, had it review it, asked it if it was a good enough standard to keep going forward with. And then I took GPT 03's response, put it back into Gemini, kind of just running through it all because like I'm not a super strong React Native person. So JavaScript, I'm honestly not a huge fan of React, but I know it's kind of a necessary evil in this day and age. JavaScript's everywhere; it runs the web, so it's like I get it, makes sense. They are Gemini believes that they're saying that the recommendations from GPT are excellent. They elevate the document from a good set of guidelines to a professional grade, and that's what we're here for. We are here for professional grade, scalable content, and I'm just here to facilitate. So some of this can be like super over engineered, but I just want to make sure that we got quality performance. Not going to have any visual issues. And this is probably getting a little bit overkill, but you got to prepare. Got to prepare for this app to have the end game of 100,000 plus users, maybe millions in the future. Probably not right away. So let's go ahead and update this one more time. Apply these extra changes. Okay, so now I'm having GPT apply Gemini's changes, and it's not too bad. It just it's kind of reiterating some stuff. Added a couple extra examples, and I think we should be okay. So cool. All right, and then let's start applying some of these changes. Possible. The app is live, so don't want to completely rewrite what's working, but should prioritize minimal but impactful changes, focusing on best practice. All right. So I'm letting seeing what a Gemini recommends based on that. I might, and a lot of times I will kind of like switch context. So that's what I was actually kind of just thinking. I know I've been in this chat for a minute, and I think I might change it up a little bit. And how now that I've built this like standard, I kind of want to make sure that it's you know, not over engineered, I guess. Yeah, so it's back to okay, cool. So it's looking pretty good about that. So most critical first pass. Cool. I think I got what I want. All right. Mostly, yeah, it's identified that list items are the biggest upgrade, which would make sense. So now we can actually look at the app a little bit. So let's start with Explorer. It's the first thing you see. Explorer. So I think this is a list. So the places is a list of venues. So what we want to do, or actually, it's okay. It's saying posts, and the post screen was definitely one of the screens where I was seeing a lot of performance, where sometimes just like this post update button would just not load sometimes. I think because it was like stuck on the JavaScript thread, so it never actually got a chance to load as it was like waiting for all the other stuff to come through. So that'll be a huge fix, I think, if we can get that taken care of. And so let's see how we want to go about that. This would actually be a case where it has a bunch of stuff. So change my, see what the chat says. So it's recommending we memoize the critical list component. So so to do that, let's do that. So let's say go over to cursor. Yeah, still trying to think how to do this. Wait, and I want to transform this real quick. There we go. Doing it live. We are doing it live. All right, so I've got that. I'm not showing cursor at this point. I guess I probably could. It's not a big deal. But what I'm doing is just pasting in these changes. So let's apply these changes. And we're going to see what they look like. So the post list item. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's memoized it. So we wrapped it in a memo. Oh, and that's it. Okay. And then we export the default post list afterward. Okay. I think that makes sense. Let's see. So changes applied. Whoop. There we go. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like that just seems a little too straightforward. Okay. All right. Then I'm gonna take this back to Gemini. Be like, hey, this is what happened. Actually, I'm stick with chat for now. So cursor chat, I just took the error from the console and then dumped it into the chat to see what's the deal here. Oh, is that it? Okay. So it's just saying we just need to restart the app. Let's see. And the app has seemed to crash. So I don't think that's it. Let's go back. Let's try it. This app's starting to get a little heavy. It's taking a minute to bundle. I know my $2 EAS build fee is telling me that it's at least a medium. Yeah, no, something's not right. Okay. This change will not work. All right. Yeah, let's rebuild. It's worth a shot. Okay. Can I get to the social tab? Oh, I cannot. Can I even scroll? I can't scroll. Uh-oh. All right. We are going to kill the app. Start it. There we go. All right, cool. So what happened here? If we reapply those changes and then restart the app, let's see what happens. So this is going to crash probably, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. And then I think that's probably not going to be resolved that easily. Oh, maybe it is. Okay. Yeah, it might just been the state. Okay. Maybe we're good. Going to confer with Gemini on that. So grab the error from the error log, console log rather. So with this new version of post list item, .tsx. Received where the changes caused this error immediately after application in trying to pull down for new posts. But restarting the app, then it functioned correctly without the error. Will this be issue if the new version of the app with, I guess, probably not. Someone updates the app with this new version. Build version. Is this expected? There's the error. And then I'm gonna grab the file. So that was post list item. See what it says. In the meantime, do a quick check and see how we're doing. Hey, we hit the 2-hour mark. All right. Let's see if this works. If it's looking good, then might adjourn for now. Finish up some of the other stuff I was trying to do. Okay, that's what I figured. It's just a development time thing. Not a big deal. Native refresh. It's hot reloading. Yeah, that makes sense. File now exports a constant. Yeah, I guess we changed what it was exporting. So React's native refresh is incredibly powerful. We sometimes get confused with fundamental shape. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we definitely changed the object. I was gonna say this shouldn't be an issue, right? If we restart the app, small but best practice update, finalize the change. While our change was correct, we make sure the tiny addition to the memwise components and a display name helps in. Oh, okay, with debugging. So you just want to console log it, post. Oh, interesting. Dot display name. Oh, I guess, yeah, just for console log. I don't care. Continue with optimization plan. Yeah, cool. I think we're good. So that is loading as expected. Good deal, good deal. All right, cool. Well, that's it. Okay, I'm gonna have to get better at my first live stream workout in a while. So I have to get better at flexing this muscle, which I will start tomorrow. Probably ramp up slowly but surely to longer and longer sessions. But yeah, I think this is probably going to work. I think I can at least show what's going on at the app while I work on it and get a live preview of it. See kind of, I don't know, my normal vibe coding situation where I'm relying pretty heavily on the AI, but I always I at least have a little bit of a background to kind of keep an eye on what it's actually doing, and make sure that the changes make sense. So yeah, that's going to kind of be the goal. I'm gonna build in public. So that's what we're doing again. So this is hopefully a successful build in public first attempt. Yeah, tune in tomorrow. We'll see how the stream turns out, see what I can pull out of it, and we'll be live tomorrow morning to get started once again. So if you did stop by, I appreciate it. Thank you, and I will see you later.